What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and what you're looking at is the BELLBOY Smart Wireless Earphones. Now that might sound familiar, and that is true, because quite a while ago we did a video on the first iteration of these earphones, and we found that they were a very inexpensive set of headphones that don't do anything really shocking, but you know, do what you buy them for a very affordable price tag. This though is the second iteration, and even though the price tag has remained relatively modest with just under 30 bucks, they have done quite a bit to upgrade this and to make it a bit more of an upmarket product. So we're going to take a look and see if that is true. Now if you've seen the other video, which I'll link above actually, that started off with the packaging that was already very bargain basement. For good reason, because you know, you can save money on the packaging to keep the price down. Not so much the case here. The box is much more upmarket, much more solid, a good picture of the earphones on the front, which is something I always appreciate. Little description on the back of the features and what the remote does, and overall it's much nicer to receive a box like this. Opening it up, not much inside. You're presented with the earphones themselves that we'll take a look at in a minute, and you get a little USB charging cable that I have 300 of by now, but still it's nice that they include it. Focusing on the earphones themselves, it's pretty much an all-white affair, just like the first iteration. Obviously not by accident, in line with how Apple colors their earpods. You can see that this time around they have included some ear fins, which is actually a very welcome relief for me, because both the Apple earpods and these, they hurt my ears. My ears don't like this kind of shape. Earphones, I prefer them a lot smaller and a lot more inside my ear. But with these rubbers or silicone ear fins, it makes it much more comfortable. This whole area is covered with the silicone, so it makes it a lot less hard in your ear, and with the actual fin I can lock it in my ear without any problems. So job well done there, BELLBOY. It's a flat cable, as you can see, obviously to prevent tangling. But the cable is, you know, relatively short, so you won't have that much to tangle with. We got the inline remote here that obviously houses the battery, the microphone, all the antennas and everything else. The battery, by the way, will last you for 4.5 hours, so claim BELLBOY. That depends obviously a bit on what you do, the volume, phone calls and so on. In reality you're looking at 3.5 hours or so. You charge it through the micro USB port that's hidden underneath this flap, which, like many headphones that we've covered, or earphones rather, that we covered recently, is definitely the weak point. You can see that this is, you know, one step up from an afterthought. This is gonna fall off in no time. You know, I know that you need something to cover it because it's gonna get full of dust and lint or whatever, but it's just not an elegant solution. And you know, BELLBOY is not the only one. Pretty much all headphones and earphones that we looked at recently that have, you know, an inline remote that houses the battery are struggling with this, and I don't know why they can't find a good solution, but this just isn't it. You know, it does the job, it covers it though for a few times, but I'm sure that if you use this for a week, prying this open, you can see how much effort it costs already to get this open. This is definitely going to fall off. The remote itself though, you know, couldn't be simpler. Volume up and down, skip play, pause and so on, answer and decline phone calls with the middle button, and you got the BELLBOY logo on the back. It's nice and light though, you know, which is why it will only give you 4.5 hours according to them, but probably 3.5 in real life. So it's not, you know, a very heavy battery, which keeps the whole unit nice and light, which I think is nice, and 3.5 hours is easily enough to get through a day. And probably throughout the week you can definitely charge this once or twice and get through all your commutes, no problem. Speaking of commuting, obviously, like I said, voice functionality here as well, so you can definitely make some phone calls on the go if you need to, and overall that does, you know, exactly what you expect it to do. Quality is not superior, you know, to anything, but it's fine. You can definitely have a short conversation without any trouble. And because obviously this is Bluetooth 4.1, you can be away from your device for up to 10 meters, so you can leave your phone or music player in your pocket or in your bag. Which obviously brings us to sound quality. I always find that the hardest part to convey on camera, of course, because sound quality is definitely something at least semi-subjective. I find that the ear fins and the rubber make it, you know, much more nice in my ear, and therefore I can enjoy the sound much better as well. It's not going to blow you away with any crazy high ends or superior bass performance or anything. You know, it's nothing to write home about too much, but overall it's pretty decent. and definitely at the price point for under 30 bucks, I think you can't complain too much. Because this is typically a pair of headphones that lives in your sports bag, or maybe something that you use on your commute. And you know, it's by no means pretends to be a high-end set of headphones. But I still think you get a pretty decent sound out of it. Same thing with the phone calls. So in conclusion, how do we feel about the second iteration of the BELLBOY Smart Wireless Earphones? I think actually they've done a pretty good job in upgrading this product to where it should be, without raising the price point too much, which obviously is key for the niche that they're operating in. I think they made the improvements where it matters most. First of all, the comfort in your ear is definitely a big one for me. And second of all, the overall use of materials from the box to the inline remote, and the whole feeling of the device itself is much more fresh, so to speak, and much more where it should be at this price point, I think. It's still not going to blow you away anywhere in terms of overall performance, not in battery life, not in audio quality or call quality either. But it is not making any secrets about what it is trying to be. This is an inexpensive headphones, and I think for the price it definitely delivers on what it should be, especially in this sort of improved format with better materials and an overall better feel of the product. I think job well done by BELLBOY to upgrading this product to what it is now, and it's definitely going to be interesting to watch them what they do with the third iteration. I think this is definitely one to consider when you're looking for an inexpensive set of earphones, which is obviously something you can do on their website. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the BELLBOY Smart Wireless Earphones. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll check you in the next one. Cheers!